Welcome to the 2024 Reset vlog. We are going to be prepping for 2024 in this video. Now here's the thing with yearly planning. Of course, we cannot predict what 2024 will bring us. And so when we're setting goals and making plans and just kind of thinking of what we want our year to look like, it's important to remember that we have little control over what happens. And so when we're setting these goals, this is our little small slice of control that we can have of putting our intentions towards the things that we want to do, realizing that we are the creators of our life and our habits. We can change our course anytime we want. We can work towards things that we want to. We can stop doing things that we don't want to be doing. Just like taking back our ownership, getting back in the driver's seat, and making some plans and inspiration and getting motivated to make the choices that we want to make this year. And that's really what it comes down to. So the first thing that I want to do for me personally, to prep for the new year is take a little bit of time to unwind. Part of unplugging for me really isn't even about not working or, being as stress-free as humanly possible. It's really just about taking time offline. Replacing time that I would be scrolling with reading, spending time with people, being outside. I'm very susceptible to getting caught up in my screen, in my TikTok feed. I mean, how can you not? There's so much interesting information on the internet, and even if I'm spending an hour scrolling gardening TikTok, it's that's still a time when I could have just been outside doing something good for me, putting that energy towards myself. Just gonna take some time offline, and I encourage you guys, when you're watching this video, to, even if it's just take a day, just delete all the apps from your phone. You can do it for one day. Even if you're an influencer, even if you're a content creator, you can delete it, you can take one day off, and it really makes a huge difference. While I'm sharing some footage from my unplugged time off, I wanted to talk about why I set goals and why I plan my new year. I feel like goals and New Year's resolutions get a bad rep, so I really wanted to talk about my perspective and why I set goals. Why do I create resolutions and do all of these planning things when most people don't even stick to their resolutions for more than 30 days after the new year? And there's the perspective of course, New Year's is just another day. Why set all these goals and put all this pressure on yourself? And that is one perspective, and I completely understand, and I fall into that mindset a lot. But I know that, at least for myself, I'm usually scared to set goals, not because I'm afraid that I can't achieve it, but because I'm afraid of, what if I actually could achieve this goal? What if I actually did give this goal valid effort and put in work and time? I'm scared of the effort it would take to wake up earlier, to get in more workouts, eat healthier, or do the project that I've been putting off for years. What would happen if I actually did these things and stuck to my plans and made a schedule and actually stuck out to achieve the goal? And that is really scary when you realize your potential as a human and you realize, wait, I can get up earlier, I can accomplish this goal. And I'm here to tell you that truly, no matter what goal you have, I am 100% certain that you can achieve it. I truly believe this, and I may not always believe it about myself, but I do try to remind myself that I'm capable of so much more than I give myself credit for. And I also wanted to remind you that all you need to achieve your goals this year are A, to be honest with yourself about the goals you actually want versus the goals you think you should have. B, be honest about where you're at right now and be honest about the realistic steps you can take to get to where you want to be. And C is take action. You do not need anything but yourself, a piece of paper and a pen, and the ability to take action. You do not need to buy tons of things like workout clothes, supplements, makeup, skincare, planners. Yes, I am calling myself out here. You don't need to have an aesthetic home. You don't need to have glass skin, a perfect body, shiny hair, etc. You just need yourself, your goal, a plan, and to take action. Now, goals often get wrapped up in the hustle culture group, but I view goals not as this trap that I have to do. I have to give up all my fun, work hard, and be miserable until I achieve my goals. In fact, I actually don't think, and actually I know, that achieving any of my goals will not make me happy. It is the pursuit of the goal, the journey, the effort, the trying and the failing, the consistency that is so fulfilling for me, and that's what makes me happy. So by working towards goals, I'm happier, not in achieving them. Plus, goals are usually telling me something. It's my brain asking me to add or change something about my life that will better align with what I truly want. And I view goals, vision boards, and plans, all of these things, as tools. Everyone has those little brain hacks that they use to keep themselves moving forward. For me, it's going on Pinterest, making fun vision boards, writing down my goals, and keeping all of these things top of mind. And a huge key for me is that I know when I set these goals that some of my New Year's habits are gonna fall off by February. But the key is to not beat yourself up. Goals and habits are all about momentum. So if you fall off, which you likely will at some point during the year, just brush it off and jump back in. If you fall off, you don't have to fall into the narrative of, oh, I fell off my New Year's resolution for a week, so I guess I'm just one of those people who can't change. I can never do it, I can never be consistent. You don't have to fall into that mindset. Instead, just know that you're gonna fall off. It's normal. Even the most successful people will fall off from time to time, but you just have to brush it off and try again, no matter how many times it takes. It's also important to note that striving to achieve goals and doing anything in life is going to be messy. I wish that all of the goals I wrote down at the beginning of the year stayed the same through the end of the year so I could just cleanly check off the things that I accomplished, but my goals change, life changes, and I often make goals before I'm ready. If I waited for the perfect moment when I had a perfectly clear goal to write down and then I could take action, I wouldn't do anything. I wouldn't try anything. And instead, I do my best to write down goals and intentions that feel authentic to me right now. And if it changes, and that's life. And it's not gonna be clean and it's gonna be a little bit messy. So just know that as I'm setting my goals and making my vision boards, just know that this is my personal tool for keeping momentum and motivation in my life. It's not a perfect system. I'm not perfect at it. I am gonna fall off from time to time, but this is how I keep myself moving forward. And I don't want to look back at my life and just see hours or even days wasted watching TikToks and other people live their life. I want to fully strive for things and go after it this year. And I hope you guys feel a little bit inspired after this. And I believe you can accomplish anything you write down this year. So let's get to planning. I started off my yearly planning session by doing some journaling. This year I did it in my notebook. I go back and forth whether I type it out in Notion or I use a pen to paper method, but I felt like for a yearly reflection, I really like to physically write it out. So I just wrote down some things that I wanted to reflect on this year. I got some things off my chest, vented about anything I needed to, talk to myself about things I might want to do this year, what I want to do better, reflecting on some things that I did well this year and all of the good memories, and just expressing gratitude for another year on this earth. You know what I mean? So I just wrote out some of those things. I'm sure there's tons of prompts you can find online, but I kind of just went with whatever I felt like was coming up. And then I moved to my bedroom. I just wanted to be horizontal for my planning session and just get comfortable. So I did some of it from bed and then another bit of it from my desk. And I started off by just setting up my planner. So I, this year, chose the Monday Start dated planner. And I'm just going through and I'm changing and picking out my different covers and just kind of getting my good notes set up. I like to favorite different notebooks that I'm going to use a lot and just kind of getting my good notes all nice and ready for the new year. And then I went in and I deleted all of the daily pages. Something I really need to focus on this year is being authentic about my planning online. I feel like because I am the person designing all of these planners, that I need to be using all of the planners and I need to use every template all the time, and it's just not how I plan. I'm a weekly planning girl, and I never really feel the need to plan out my full day in the schedule. And if I feel like sometimes I just do it to post it on social media, and I don't want to do that this year. So I deleted all of the daily pages. Of course, none of those hyperlinks will work. This has the potential to break other hyperlinks. It didn't break any in mine. I was able to still access my monthly and weekly pages through the hyperlinks. But that is an option for you if you want to delete the daily pages or the weekly pages and just have one or the other, but it does have the potential to break the hyperlinks. So that is up to you. That is your choice. And I'm just here to provide the full template, and you can kind of customize it as you please. So now I'm getting into the goals, and my goals for the year in this template are all of my tangible number-based goals. These aren't as high level as intentions, which I will get into next. These are just my main goals that I have for the year. And I'm not going to touch too much on these because I don't like talking about my goals that much. There's actually a lot of scientific studies behind telling your goals to other people. It can either discourage you by having the person's response be negative, like, oh, really? You're gonna do that? Or you think you could do that? And then you immediately feel discouraged. But then there's also the opposite effect of people saying, oh yeah, that's amazing, you should definitely go for it. And there's some sort of dopamine or something released in your brain when you hear positive feedback about your goals that makes you feel like you've already accomplished it, and therefore you don't feel the need to go really strive to do it. I don't know if any of this is true, but I just know that I like to keep my goals personal and close to myself. It has just worked for me throughout my life, and I even debated sharing these goals just in a visual format like I am right here, but I figured a lot of these goals are fun and, more of my light goals that I have, and I'm not, opposed to sharing these in any way, but I do have some goals that I will keep personal to myself, and I recommend you do the same. Just have those things that you keep close to your heart that are the things that really you truly want to work on and that are really important to you, and don't feel like you have to tell people or share that. Of course, it can be helpful to share your goals in a community like I am right now, sharing my goals with you guys, because somebody out there might see a similar goal they have to me and feel inspired to write it down and go for it. And I think that is amazing. So just pick and choose the goals that you want to share with people versus the ones you want to keep close. I think it's a personal decision, and I think you just got to go with your gut on that. But now I'm writing down all of my intentions, and these are the goals that are less number based and more just general, I want to drink more water, get outside more, scroll less on TikTok, all of those kind of little things that we know we want to do, want to work on. Kind of just start to visualize how you want your year to be, the habits you want to have, and yeah, just take your time, sit there, really think about it, and write them all down. Now it's time to make our 2024 vision boards. So I recommend you put on some good music, go sit down somewhere comfortable, get a coffee, get a snack, and just relax and create your vision for the year. I love just scrolling on Pinterest with no plans and just kind of seeing what draws my attention. A lot of my vision boards follow the same themes because I'm always striving for the same things, and that is health, wellness, getting outside, waking up early, working on my business, cooking, and just generally striving to live a healthy, balanced life. And I love having a vision board to look at, especially when I wake up in the morning. I think it's a really great reminder of everything you're trying to work on, because a lot of times we have this idea in our head of our dream life, and it's hard to work towards that every day, especially when you have all these different categories and all these different things you want to do. So I love having a vision board that just encompasses everything, so that whenever I'm drinking my coffee in the morning, I can look at this vision board and I'm reminded of the energy that I want to have throughout my day. And those days lead to weeks, lead to months, and lead to the year. And it really is one day at a time, one little action at a time. And so I love making a vision board, and this is mine for the year. I love it. It's giving like wellness girl meets farm girl, which I feel like is kind of my aesthetic these days. And yeah, I'm really just going back to the basics this year, putting all of my focus on my health, my wellness routines, and just generally having a peaceful yet productive life. And this is the final goal setup, intentions, vision board. I feel always so good at the end of doing this. I don't always want to do this and sit down and make all these goals and make the vision boards, because sometimes I'm just a little bit lazy. But after I do it and during, I'm always so excited. It gets me so pumped up for the new year. I really want to just kind of get after it a little bit this year. I feel like in the past I've wanted more balance, more relaxation, but this year I want to kind of get after it a little bit. So that's kind of the goal for 2024. And then I also just went ahead and I updated my home screen. You guys know I love to update my home screen because it just helps get new energy flowing, and I love opening up my iPad to see all of these different images that really inspire me. So I've shared so many videos on how to do this, so I'm not going to go through the whole process of how I update my home screen. If you want to know, you can go back in my YouTube channel, and there are a few videos I have where I walk you through the entire thing. But I like to put a lot of nature, books, and kind of the antithesis of the iPad screen on my screen, just to remind myself that there is a life outside of the screens, and to, put down the YouTube, read a book, put down the video game, go outside. You know what I mean? So I like to just put those reminders on my screens at all times. I feel like it just helps keep that goal top of mind for me. All right, this is my little home screen. I have my music, my Notion, plant reminder, reading reminder, and a little quote. So super cute, and I love it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you have an amazing new year, and definitely tag me on Instagram or TikTok if you do your own 2024 planning routine. I want to see your vision boards and goals. Thank you guys so much for all the support this year. I appreciate it so much, and I can't wait for what 2024 has to bring. So happy planning, and I'll see you guys in the next video.